There is at least one thing common between your average bodybuilder and a severely morbidly obese man, and that is their fucked up relationship with food. Interestingly, that relationship is on opposite spectrums. The bodybuilder sees the food as an input-output function with barely any emotions involved, while the obese person is nothing but emotions. My friends don't care about me, my future is dark and bleak, everything about my life sucks. Why can't I just stop eating this ice cream? Why do I continue to engage in self-sabotaging habits? This is not limited to obese people. Skinny people do not eat as much, their brain's hunger signaling. It is wired in a certain way that food simply does not feel as rewarding as it does for other people.
Those skinny bitches.
So regardless of the body size, if you want to pull bitches by manipulating your food intake and decreasing or increasing your body weight, in theory it is quite deceptively simple, but in reality it is a challenging task. Even with all the modern world information about fitness, nutrition science and medications like Ozempic, obesity still remains an epidemic.
I asked you to eat less food.
Now, a lot of people do not realize that bodybuilding as an activity, it is mostly about dealing with food intake. They are less about being fitness professionals and more about being eating professionals. Even back in 1960s, Bruce Randall ate 15,000 calories a day to gain up to 400 pounds, only to crash diet his way onto a bodybuilding Olympia stage. I need to correct myself. It was not Olympia, it was Mr. Universe contest. Despite knowing none of you actually care about the difference, there is this thing called journalistic integrity. This is the part where I try to impress you how ethical I am. Call me ladies, or if you're a guy who is slightly feminine, that also works.
Shut him up.
Now in the good old times of 1950s, when smoking and domestic violence were not frowned upon, the bodybuilding lifestyle was not seen in a good light. Like a shaman resurrecting your dead dog for $1 million, or a mime standing on the streets of France eating an imaginary sandwich. Then there is a bodybuilder trying to eat 5,000 calories trying to bulk up to 200 pounds. The common thread about all three is that people never actually considered them as actual professions. But Bruce Randall accepted the bodybuilding lifestyle and he could not be stopped by such petty constructs of cholesterol, heart attacks, or not eating yourself into financial ruin. The man ate 4 times a day. His breakfast was of 28 eggs, 2 liters of milk with some bread, and apart from the 4 meals, instead of water he would only drink milk. Bruce truly was a masculine ideal of his time. He spoke in a soft, soothing, yet a demanding tone, like a college graduate war veteran. Seems like a very decent guy at first glance, but also prone to anger and cruelty, especially towards his wife and children. Unlike the modern trend of having to need special workout shoes, specific gym clothing, a bag filled with baby powder and juggling dildos, I cannot live without my pre-workout drink that mom bought me for Christmas. But all the things Bruce needed to push through his 5-hour workout sessions was food in his stomach and fire in his belly. At a body weight of light 170 kgs, Bruce was overhead pressing his own body weight, squatting 309 kgs, deadlifting 350 and quarter squatting 909 kgs. In the early 1950s, Bruce, just like every other teenager of his age, voluntarily made a decision that significantly increased the chances of getting their balls blown off. They joined the Marines. A young, energetic, well-fed Bruce at the age of 21 started lifting weights because he wanted to make weight for his football team, not for bodybuilding. He did not have a cute Canadian guy or a bald Russian man telling him how to lift, what to lift.
Where do we meet so I can kill you with my fucking hands?
He pioneered what we used to call the bro training. His training was only about bicep curls and tricep extensions. There was 0 deadlift, 0 bench, 0 squat. Now you guys live in 2024. You have the whole of human civilization's knowledge at the tip of your fingers. We have a Jewish bald guy telling us how to lift optimally for that extra 6% muscle gain. He even makes videos on how to talk to women. Look, I'm not complaining because I have never interacted with a real female in my life. As soon as I make eye contact with a real woman, my brain just goes, I guess we're in love now. Please have my children. Bruce trained like this for a few months until his football team coach intervened and had him start squats and deadlifts. Well, surprise, surprise, Bruce turned out to be a phenom. In his first attempt at squats, he was able to budge 300 for a few repetitions easily. 2 months into the training and he was able to squat 400. 11 months into the training, he was pushing 601 pounds. Let me repeat it again. In just 11 months of training, this guy was squatting 600 pounds. Lifting potential lies on a bell curve. Most of humanity cannot even squat 400 even if they trained for their whole life. Now you might be thinking, and if you're not, you should be, that Randall's strength is cool and all, he's a strong guy, but it's not that extraordinary. We have superhumans like John Hack or Clarence Kennedy doing stuff that we can only dream of. But the thing that makes my jaw drop is not Randall's strength or physique, it is his weight loss. He was weighing 180 kgs and he supposedly dropped all the way to 100 kgs. Now let's be honest, the weight loss was likely less than 80 kgs. Likely use of anabolics, and the bodybuilding shows from that time were less about being competitive and more about being entertainment shows where people came to see half-naked muscular freaks. Let me ask you something, darling. How come you're in mood for some wild sex only after we have visited that circus full of scary big men?
Haha, oh you silly Steve. Sure, I will tell you that right after you answer how come you're so fucking fat.